Your heart is pounding. Your legs are moving faster than they ever have. Something is behind you. You don't know what. Don't stop. Don't look. Just run. That cold rush. That sudden jolt that takes over your entire body without asking permission. That's fear. And today, we're going inside your brain to find out exactly what's happening when it hits you. Most people think fear is just an emotion, a feeling. Fear isn't in your mind. Fear is your mind. Your brain doesn't actually care if you're happy. It doesn't care if you're successful or comfortable or fulfilled. Your brain has one job, one obsession, one mission it has been running for 300 million years. Don't die. Fear is how it does that job. Fear is the alarm system, the emergency protocol, the thing that kicks in when survival is on the line, and it is absolutely brilliant at it. Deep inside your brain, buried under layers of logic and language and everything that makes you human, there is a tiny almond-shaped structure. It's called the amygdala, and it has been waiting your entire life for something to go wrong. The moment your eyes spot something threatening, a sound that doesn't belong, your amygdala fires. Not after you think about it, before, in 12 milliseconds. That's faster than you can blink, faster than conscious thought can even begin. Your amygdala has already decided this is dangerous, and what happens next changes everything about your body. The moment your amygdala fires, it sends an emergency signal to your hypothalamus. Think of the hypothalamus as your brain's command center. It immediately starts screaming orders to your body. Your adrenal glands dump adrenaline into your blood. Your heart rate doubles. Your pupils dilate so you can see more. Blood rushes away from your stomach. That's why fear makes you feel sick and floods into your muscles. Your body is preparing for one thing: fight or flight. Pain sensitivity drops. You could be injured and not even feel it yet. Time seems to slow down. Your hearing sharpens. In less than a second, you have become a completely different version of yourself. Faster, stronger, more alert than you have ever been in your life. Now here's where it gets interesting. This system, the amygdala, the adrenaline, the fight-or-flight response, it didn't evolve for the modern world. It evolved for a world that looks nothing like ours. Imagine you are a human 100,000 years ago. You are walking through tall grass at dusk. Suddenly, a rustle, a shadow. Is it the wind, a bird, or a predator that will kill you in seconds? Your brain can't afford to think about it. Thinking takes too long. So instead, your amygdala makes an instant decision. Assume the worst. And your body is already moving before your conscious mind even knows what happened. The humans who hesitated, they didn't survive to have children. The humans who ran first and asked questions later, that's us. We are the descendants of the paranoid ones. But here's the problem. We don't live in tall grass anymore. We live in offices, in classrooms, in social media feeds, and your amygdala doesn't know the difference. When your boss sends you an angry email, your amygdala fires. When you're about to speak in public, your amygdala fires. When someone unfollows you, yes, your amygdala fires. The same system that was built to save you from lions is now triggering because of a text message. Your heart pounds, your palms sweat, your thoughts race. But there's no predator. There's no real danger. There's just life. This mismatch between ancient hardware and modern problems is why anxiety exists, why stress feels physical, why fear can strike even when you are completely safe. You've heard of fight or flight, but there's a third response nobody talks about: freeze. Sometimes when fear is extreme enough, your body doesn't run. It doesn't fight. It stops completely. You've felt this. That moment of pure shock where you literally cannot move, cannot speak, cannot think. This isn't weakness. This is ancient survival strategy. Many predators respond to movement. A rabbit freezing in place has a real chance of surviving if a hawk flies overhead. A deer standing completely still in the forest becomes almost invisible. When your brain calculates that running would make things worse, that fighting is impossible, it shuts everything down. Here's something that will change how you think about your own fears. You are not born afraid of spiders. You are not born afraid of heights or darkness or public speaking. You learn fear. There's a part of your brain called the hippocampus. It works alongside the amygdala to create fear memories, and it is terrifyingly good at its job. One bad experience, one moment of real panic, and your brain stamps that memory with a warning label that lasts for years, sometimes forever. This is called fear conditioning, and it was famously demonstrated in one of the most disturbing psychology experiments ever run. A baby named Little Albert, who was taught to fear a white rat, through association with a loud, frightening sound. The lesson: fear can be installed, like software, into a brain that had no fear of that thing before. So here's the question that's been sitting in the back of your mind. If fear is supposed to protect us, why do humans pay money to be scared? Horror movies, haunted houses, roller coasters, skydiving, bungee jumping. We seek out fear for fun. Here's why. When your amygdala fires and your body floods with adrenaline, your brain also releases dopamine, the reward chemical, the same one that makes food taste good and love feel incredible. Your brain is essentially saying, you survived. Here's your reward. But in a safe context, watching a horror movie, knowing you won't actually die, your prefrontal cortex stays calm. It tells your amygdala, this isn't real, so you get the adrenaline rush, the dopamine hit, the thrill, without any of the actual danger. Fear, in the right context, becomes the most intense pleasure your brain can produce. In the 1990s, neuroscientists discovered a woman known only as SM. SM had a rare condition that destroyed both of her amygdalae completely. And what happened to her was not what you'd expect. She was not fearless in an impressive way. She was fearless in a terrifying way. Researchers took her to a haunted house. She walked through laughing, touching the actors, completely unbothered. They showed her snakes and spiders she had previously said she feared. She reached out to touch them with pure curiosity. She was held at knife point once. She felt no fear, only curiosity about the knife. SM survived, but her life was filled with danger she couldn't detect. Situations a normal person would flee from, she walked into without hesitation. Fear isn't the enemy. Without it, you wouldn't last a week. So now you know what fear is. Can you turn it off? Not exactly, but you can retrain it. The process is called extinction learning. You expose yourself to what scares you, slowly, safely, repeatedly. And each time nothing bad happens, your hippocampus creates a new memory, a counter memory. Your amygdala doesn't forget the old fear, but your prefrontal cortex, the rational part of your brain, learns to override it, to step in and say, I know this feels dangerous, but I have evidence it isn't. This is what therapy does, what facing your fears does, what time and exposure do naturally. You don't delete the fear. You build something stronger on top of it. The next time fear grabs you, that cold rush, that pounding heart, that urge to run or freeze or fight, remember what it actually is. It's not weakness. It's not irrationality. It's 300 million years of evolution working exactly as designed. A system so effective, it kept your ancestors alive through predators, famines, and things we can barely imagine today. Fear kept you here. Fear kept all of us here. The question isn't how to get rid of it. The question is, what do you do with it? If you want to understand more about how your brain works against you and for you at the same time, the next video goes even deeper. We're covering why your brain is addicted to negative thoughts and how to actually break that loop. Subscribe. I'll see you there. I'll see you